everyone, I'm Mariam and today we are going to discuss how one can get out of a financially abusive relationship. According to a research, COVID-19 was a catalyst for more domestic violence and the breeding of financially abusive relationships. It made for a perfect storm to create a pandemic within a pandemic. It is hard for victims of financial violence and in abusive relationships to overcome something like this so easily. For them, survival becomes key to not becoming economically dependent on their abusers. And that is why they need economic support to leave such violent relationships. Abusive relationships can impact anyone, people of different ages, races, or economic statuses. But it disproportionately affects females. Financial abuse is one of the main reasons they would be forced to stay or return to toxic relationships. Fearing for their well-being and being unsure about accomplishing financial wellness are common for people who leave such abusive relationships. Because it is life-altering, it requires a whole lot of planning and courage. And here is how they can be empowered to be financially confident. Now, these victims need to adequately prepare financially to prevent themselves from feeling overwhelmed. They need to forge a new path to end their cycle of dependence on their abusers. Now, one idea is having an escape bag with all one's clothes, essentials, important financial documents, and how much ever cash they can get hold of. If they cannot get the originals of the financial documents, then try getting the photocopies. These include documents like a life insurance policy, a birth certificate, a house deed, a passport, or a driver's license, and many other things like these. So these should be stored in a safe place like probably a family member's house or even a friend's place. They also need emergency housing. This can be at a friend's or family member's place of residence. There may also be temporary living lodges and domestic violence shelters that can be found on the internet. There is plenty of information available there. But it would still be hard to survive potential financial struggles without any financial base. And so, they need to review all their accounts and make secure copies of account information, their passwords or addresses. Scanning them and keeping them online in an account would help if those accounts cannot be accessed by the abuser. They also need to assess their finances and try to create a plan for things like housing and healthcare. If abusers have not allowed their victims to build their finances or allowed them to work, they would need to figure out ways to make money, find employment, and then open a bank account. People need to have a good credit score, which would allow them to get access to loans and credit cards and help them regain financial independence. It is also really important for enterprises and employers to acknowledge the macabre and insidious consequences of domestic abuse and help out if they realize that employees are in financially abusive relationships. We also need an accessible and comprehensive network of resources and support for financial abuse survivors. That way, leaving an abusive relationship would not seem as daunting and people can rebuild their path to financial freedom. This is the way to go. Stay tuned for more informative content like this. Bye.